The docking clamps hissed as Marcus Chen stumbled through the airlock, his EVA suit trailing frost from the void. Behind him, the Meridian exploded in a silent bloom of orange and white, its fusion core finally surrendering to the cascade failure that had been chasing him through 3 sectors. He collapsed onto the deck plating, gasping, his helmet's HUD flickering with radiation warnings. The ship he'd boarded, Artemis 7, according to the hull markings, had been his only option. A derelict, they'd called it in the nav charts. Abandoned for 5 centuries after the gender wars, drifting through the Kuiper Belt like a tomb. But derelicts didn't have atmosphere. Derelicts didn't have gravity. Marcus dragged himself upright, his boots magnetizing to the floor. The corridor stretched before him, illuminated by bioluminescent strips that pulsed with an organic rhythm. The walls weren't metal, they were something else. Something that looked like bone fused with carbon fiber, white and gray and disturbingly warm to the touch. Emergency beacon detected, his suit's AI announced. Medical bay located. Deck 3, Section F. He needed to get out of the radiation-soaked suit. Needed water, medical supplies, anything. Marcus followed the corridor, each step echoing in the emptiness. The ship felt wrong. Not abandoned, waiting. The medical bay doors opened at his approach, smooth and silent. Inside, the equipment looked ancient but functional. Cryopods lined one wall, their status lights dark. Autodocs hung from the ceiling like mechanical spiders, their arms folded in hibernation. Marcus began stripping off his suit, the Geiger counter finally dropping to acceptable levels. That's when he heard it. Breathing. Not mechanical, organic, multiple sources. He spun around. The cryopods weren't dark, they were dimmed, and behind the frosted glass he could see shapes, human shapes, dozens of them. Proximity alert, his suit AI chirped. Life signs detected, biological. The lights blazed to full intensity. The pods opened. They emerged like ghosts, pale and fluid, their movements unnaturally graceful after 5 centuries of suspended animation. Women, 40, maybe 50 of them, wearing biosuits that clung to their forms like second skins. But their eyes were wrong. Too bright, too focused. Modified, Marcus realized, genetically enhanced pupils that caught the light like a predator's. They stared at him in absolute silence. Then one whispered, her voice carrying in the sterile air, "A male." The word rippled through them like an electric current. They moved closer, forming a semicircle around him. Marcus backed against the autodock, his heart hammering. "Stay back," he managed. "I'm armed." He wasn't. His pulse pistol had been lost with the Meridian. The nearest woman, tall, with silver hair cropped close to her skull, tilted her head. "You're not from the collective." "I'm from Earth Shipping Consortium. My ship failed. I need Earth." Another woman spoke, shorter, her biosuit marked with faded medical insignias. "Earth sent men again?" "The gender wars ended 400 years ago," Marcus said carefully. "The Reconciliation Treaty?" "We know no treaty." The silver-haired woman stepped closer. He could see the designation on her suit now. Captain Arya Volkov, Artemis 7th. "We left before the wars ended. A colony ship, all women. We were going to terraform Titan, build something new, something without men." "Then what happened?" "The drive failed." Her eyes never left his face. "We went into cryo. The ship's AI was supposed to wake us when we reached the Saturn system, but something went wrong. We drifted. 500 years, the logs say. 500 years sleeping while the universe moved on without us." The women had formed a complete circle now. Marcus could feel their hunger. Not for food, but for something else. Information. Contact. The validation that their sacrifice hadn't been for nothing. "The human population is balanced now," Marcus said slowly. The genetic bottleneck was fixed. Men and women live equally. The collective dissolved 2 centuries ago. Impossible. But Captain Volkov's voice wavered. The collective was eternal. Our purpose was eternal. Your purpose was survival, Marcus countered. And you survived. Now you need to come home. A younger woman pushed through the crowd, her eyes wild. He's lying. They always lie. The collective taught us. Men destroyed the earth. Men started the wars. The wars were started by extremists on both sides, Marcus interrupted. That's historical record now. Declassified. The truth came out. Silence. The women looked at each other. 500 years of indoctrination warring with the possibility of change. Captain Volkov's hand moved to a control panel on her wrist. AI, verify his claims, access external data streams. The ship hummed. Seconds passed like hours. Verification complete, a synthetic voice announced. Historical records confirm subjects' statements. Gender wars concluded 402 years ago. Current Earth population, 12 billion. Gender ratio, 49.8% male, 50.2% female. Genetic diversity, stable. Political system, unified parliament, equal representation. The captain's hand dropped. For a moment, Marcus thought she might collapse. Instead, she laughed, a broken, desperate sound. 500 years, she whispered. We fought for 500 years that never happened. You fought for survival, Marcus repeated gently, and that fight is over. The women began to lower their guard, the circle loosening. Some were crying. Others stood frozen, processing the magnitude of their displacement in time. Captain Volkov met Marcus's eyes. What do we do now? Now! Marcus activated his emergency beacon, hoping someone in the belt would pick it up. Now we go home. Together. As the signal pulsed out into the void, the women of Artemis 7 stood in their medical bay, suspended between the war they'd fled and the peace they never imagined. And Marcus Chen, the man who'd boarded the wrong ship, realized he might have found exactly where he needed to be. The future, it turned out, had room for everyone.